Savvy Mike in this. Because I am Savvy Mike TV. And we have Adam22 going off on and violating and betraying Bricc Baby. Now, from what I can tell, apparently Bricc Baby hasn't been getting his checks. And once the niggas stop getting their checks, you know what that means. It's fuck 'em. Now, Adam22, he's running a shiesty little business over there, paying niggas under the table, so he really doesn't have to put them on payroll. So when the time comes to it, if he doesn't want to pay them or he doesn't feel like paying, he doesn't pay them anymore. Like, you know, he's doing what I guess a smart white businessman would do, hoeing the niggas that he's giving jobs to and using them. And once the clout dries up, dismissing them or telling them to shoo off. Either the clout dries up or Adam like betrays them, basically. So now we have Bricc Baby, you know, he's over here complaining. We had Sharp. Sharp was like, yeah, I knew Adam wasn't gonna pay this man. And I guess we have Adam22 finally responding to all of this. Let's listen.
Hey, what's that big old deal, man? It's the Bricc, man. Why everybody laid up with their feet up out there vacationing, playing like they ain't got nothing for the kids, man. You already know we still keeping it strong. Nigga don't need nothing from. Hey, sometimes it be a mental test to see where a nigga hard at in his chest, man. You know what I'm saying? A motherfucker use you, abuse you. As soon as you get out the way, they act like they ain't worried about losing you. You know what I mean?
Okay. So, if you didn't catch it, this is a thinly veiled shot at the 22 stir. I was on vacation. I did have my feet kicked up. But let's talk about Bricc Baby. And in particular, the financial side of my relationship with the Bricc, not the trick. When Bricc Baby came on the platform 2 years ago, pretty quickly, the feds ran up in his crib and raided him. He needed money to get out. Now, it's been discussed at length that I fronted him an amount of money, $5,000, so that he could get out the same day that he was picked up. I know Whack 100 and a few other people have been spreading information saying that this was cap. I don't know. Honestly, the other day in the Reddit, somebody posted information saying that he really did have a bail and that was where the $5,000 went. I never
Wait, how do you not know if you... Wait, okay, so I got confused, but I think I'm starting to figure out. I think he was just twisted up his words. He just didn't understand that he had twisted up his words. Because he made it seem like that he gave Bricc Baby the $5,000 to bail out. But then he comes back around to say, Whack 100 and people have been telling people that he gave him $5,000 to bail out, and that's just a rumor, and he doesn't know. But clearly he knows. I guess he did give Bricc Baby the money to, I guess, get a bail, but what? How dumb can you be? Like, that's just stupid. That is idiotic. That is really dumb. This nigga had a whole bail hearing. And during his bail hearing, they told him, "No, you're not getting a bail bond. You're not being able to bond out of this, buddy." That's what they told Bricc Baby, Loose Cannon, and most of the other niggas that was indicted with that shit. So, like, Adam, you can't be dumb enough to be getting scammed by your own fucking employees. Because if he told you he needed $5,000 to get out, and your proof of all of this was a Reddit, and you didn't go look, and you didn't go at least go see, hey, when is this nigga's bail hearing, or does this nigga have bail? Can I bail him out right now if I wanted to? Like, you didn't even go do your due diligence. They tell me I don't do due diligence. Shit, if it's $5K and apparently my company's fucking going broke, clearly ain't going that broke if you got time to go to Turks and Caicos with your wife and kid. Like, clearly you fine. Like, what are we doing, man?
Really heard about it. I heard rumors in the streets that maybe this money was not required for him to be bailed out, that he didn't have a bail. But I did see these screenshots in the Reddit that make it seem as if he did have a bail. I didn't make a big deal out of it. I gave him the money, had to get him back out on the streets. I knew that he had potential. I knew that I could take him from being a marginal figure in the LA podcasting space to being one of, if not the most talked about person in the podcasting space, which is exactly what has happened over the course of the past couple of years. Never asked him for the money back. Never.
No, Adam, you were just happy to find another nigga willing to let you use him for clout and content. That's all you found. It wasn't no, oh, I see the great potential in you, Bricc baby. I see the amazing potential in this rolling 60s crib. I see amazing potential in this gangbanger. I see the greatest potential of all time. He could be the greatest podcaster ever. Stop lying, Adam. Like, stop. No. You saw a gold mine. You saw something that you could use to make content and make money off of. And just be sitting in a chair the whole time while he's probably indicting himself. And willingly doing it because he wants the money and the clout. That's what you saw in Bricc Baby, talking about this immense podcast potential.
Asked for it. You feel me? Now, to his credit, for like 2 years after that, he did not ask me for any additional funds. So from my perspective, you know, I was just like, okay, whatever. This is part of doing business. I gave him the $5K. I'm not going to bring it up again. And over the course of those 2 years, my prediction did come true. Bricc Baby basically soared to new heights, became one of the most talked about people in the community. And as far as our relationship, I would like to think that we actually became something like friends. We got closer and closer, spent time hanging out various times, went out to a lot of different parties and stuff, basically formed a relationship that honestly was a little bit more developed than the type of relationship that I've formed with most of the hosts that No Jumper has had over the years. Fast forward to a couple months ago, Bricc Baby reaches out to me again, asks if he can borrow a couple $1,000s for, I don't know, he's like moving into a new spot or some shit like that. I said, okay. Didn't even bring up the fact that I had let him borrow this $5,000. I figured after 2 years, you know, shit, whatever. So I let him borrow this additional $2,000-$3,000. I forget what it was. And then very soon after that, like I'm talking like a week later, he gets picked up by the feds, right? Ever since then, there's been murmurings, people wondering, what is Adam22 going to do to help out Bricc in this situation? Now, from my perspective, I'm $7,000-$8,000 in the hole in terms of money that I have let you borrow, which I'm not really the kind of person who lets people borrow money all the time. Like, of everybody who's ever worked for me, I honestly don't think I can think of a situation in which any of them have borrowed money from me. Like, that's just not really the kind of relationship that I like to have with people who work for me. You know, if it is an emergency, okay, we could do something. But for the most part, it's just not really how I get down. You know, it's like I just don't, I don't like to have that kind of thing going on. I pay you for your service and you do the job and we're good. But as far as taking out loans consistently, constantly, I'm not really into it. That being said, it was only 2 times throughout our relationship so far. But I say all that to just set the stage. Then he gets locked up and people are pretty much automatically, you know, suggesting in the comments, people talking about it on podcasts, is Adam going to pay for his lawyer? Is Adam putting money on his books? Whatever. And I'm going to be real with you. For like the first month that he was locked up, he didn't ask me for shit. He didn't say anything about it, which I kind of appreciated because I feel like if I just...
But Adam, question, you never pondered to think, oh man, I wonder why. I wonder why are people asking me to pay for his lawyer fees, to give him commissary? Like, why are people asking me to do this for? I'm just his boss. Because we saw you use him as a clown in your fucking circus for these past 2-3 years, and you made all this money off of him. Yeah. That's why. It's like all that money you made over the past 2 years using Bricc Baby as your fucking clown on your No Jumper circus, you should be at least putting that towards his books. You should be at least putting that towards his lawyer. Yeah, Adam. Not spending it on your vacation in Turks and Caicos. Now, he tries to make this about a friendship thing, a loyal thing. When in honesty, it's not even, it's a moral, that's just morally right at the end of the day, because you clearly use this nigga to make money. And I'm sure you were paying him, so I'm sure at some point, I'm sure you started to profit at a certain point, Adam, off of having Bricc Baby do your shows, do this, do that, do whatever he was doing, because he was on there all the fucking time. For a while, that wasn't no jumper. That was Bricc Jumper. Like, what are we doing?
Gave you $2,000 like immediately before you got locked up. It is kind of weird for you to get locked up and then be like, hey, like, can I have even more money, especially given this prior debt? Because my thing is, like, if you want to get an official verdict on how I'm willing to help you out financially in addition to what I've done for you previously, I feel like you should be upfront about that. I've talked to Bricc on the phone a whole bunch of times since he's been locked up, including like the day before this video came out, and it was none of this energy at all. And in addition to that, we've got people like Sharp, who don't got a pot to piss in, who ain't done nothing for Bricc, who can't do anything for anybody because he's dead broke. He's coming out, making YouTube videos, doing streams where he's passing judgment on what I've done for Bricc. Keep in mind, I've had Bricc on salary for 2 years straight. Even when he was missing shows, even when he was out of town doing whatever, never fronted on him in terms of the money. Now we've got Sharp, who, you know, Sharp has never done anything besides sex traffic women and be ugly. And he's out here trying to cast judgment on me. So let's play the Sharp clip.
Pretty much, if he is to get out, or, you know what I'm saying, even hits the streets, they don't want him on that podcast at all. They want him to resign from it, like, be done with it. They don't... The feds do not want him on No Jumper no longer. I'm telling you facts. This isn't what I think. No, it's what I know.
So if this is true, this is the first and only source that I've heard from that has specified this in any way. Do I have concerns about Bricc Baby returning to the platform? Yes, obviously. That would be kind of interesting, and I would wonder about the level of heat that it would draw to the building. Obviously, things like the gun that they saw in his waistline that I didn't see and that I don't think the comments saw, but that was pointed out in his bail hearing that he had a strap on him. That kind of thing is the kind of thing that I would want to really be on point with. But the idea that the feds or the cops have told Bricc that he's no longer allowed to be on No Jumper, this is a Sharp narrative as of this point. Like, I have absolutely no idea if this is a real thing or not. But it does seem kind of odd if this is something that Bricc told Sharp and didn't tell me or anybody else from No Jumper. I mean, keep in mind, Bricc and Sharp have had a weird relationship over the years because when we fell out with Sharp, Bricc talked hella shit about him on the platform and then basically continued to be friends with him to some extent, which I always thought was a little strange. But either way, I mean, to me, this is just a completely invented Sharp narrative as far as I know. It's kind of odd that he would know about this and I wouldn't know about this. But let's keep going.
You know, to a lot of you dummies, because it went to prove because everybody was screaming, oh, they're going to be out on Wednesday. No, they're not. I knew it when it came to the bail hearing and how things play. Like, that they're just giving them that. Now you got to appeal it. And then, you know, to hear, you know, when he was calling, you know, Adam, he ain't answering, or whatever the case may be. He's calling people, and they not picking up. Now they're avoiding him. Why is that? Boy, why aren't you answering Bricc calls?
Another Cap Sharp narrative. I have not been ducking any phone calls, and keep in mind that his baby mama has been in communication with me, talking to me, telling me what time Bricc was going to call and everything. But every time that I got on the phone with Bricc, it's been like 2 or 3 minutes of conversation, and then he gets kicked off because I guess he's only allowed to be on the phone for 10 minutes at a time. Never at any point until I was in Turks and Caicos, like right before that other video clip came out, did Bricc even utter something that mentioned or inferred that he thought that he should be getting in any way some money from us. So to me, I'm gonna be real with you, I just feel like this is some hoe ass shit. No offense, Bricc, I don't really want to use the hoe word when it comes to you or anything, but how are you going to be out here communicating shit like this to Sharp and not having the nuts to say it to me? And in addition to that, I mean, let's be real about the relationship between an employer and a worker. If Bricc had asked me in the beginning, Adam, if I get locked up, will you bail me out? Will you pay for my lawyer, etc.? My response early on probably would have been like, no. Like, I would prefer to not take our relationship to that extent. Like, that's just not something I really go into business with someone being prepared to do. It does leave a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth to realize that Bricc is comfortable having conversations about me too Sharp but won't have that same conversation to me. Like, if you want to borrow money, you can ask me. I was actually kind of looking forward to him asking me so I could have a conversation with him about the fact that he's already in a pretty significant amount of debt to me, but that conversation never came. And then in addition to that, I heard it through the grapevine that Bricc basically thought that he was going to keep getting paid. That even though he's locked up and he's not able to contribute to the business by being on camera, that he thought that he was just so locked in that he was going to keep getting his monthly pay each month. I'm sorry. I know you guys all saw the No Jumper is Going Broke video. We are not in the best financial state right now.
Yeah, I'm sure it doesn't seem realistic when you've been to Turks and Caicos for the week. I'm sure it's like, yeah, why would I pay this nigga? Like, I'm on vacation. Like, I'm spending that money. No Jumper's going broke, but I'm spending that money. I never seen a broke man, or I never seen a man that's running a company that goes broke just go on vacation. Like it's nothing. Like, fuck it. Turks and Caicos for the week. Babe? Fucking bullshit. All this bullshit Adam just spewed. Like, I don't even want to finish this shit. Like, it's like 4 more minutes left. If you want to go listen, find Adam's page and go listen to it. It's just a bunch of bullshit. I tell you that. He's just deflecting. At the end of the day, look, nobody's telling him he should have kept paying Bricc Baby. Nobody's saying that. But you could have at least created opportunities for him. I mean, hey, if you were using him when he was out of jail, clearly he wants to be used while he's in jail. So fuck it. If he want to keep snitching on himself on a jail phone call, you might as well let him keep snitching on your damn platform. Fuck it. The feds come knocking on your door like, hey, why are you letting Bricc Baby talk? I don't know. He keep calling up here. Like, look, just come up with some bullshit excuse. You're white. You just came up with a million bullshit excuses as to why you don't want to help him. Talking about some $8,000 debt, but you were paying him monthly. Like, what? I've never known a boss to give a $8,000 bonus on top of what they get paid monthly. Now, I don't know the full story to all this. Adam could be bullshitting, and Bricc could be like, well, I was there last month or the month before he went to jail, and he hasn't gotten paid for that month. So, I don't know. And maybe, at the end of the day, if he was just 2 weeks of that month he was there, fuck it. Give him half his check. I don't know, Adam. You could at least work something out, though. You at least work something out. But it seems like you care more about your well-being and your financial lifestyle and what you want to do with that money and what you want to go out and do for vacation than Bricc, even Crip Mac. Like, that's what I'm saying. Think about that. Like, all these people that Adam bring on that show just to exploit, in all honesty, yeah, he's paying them, but I'm sure whatever he's paying them, he's profiting way more, especially if they choose to go viral, or especially if they do go viral. He's making way more money than probably what he gave them. That's a fact. Anyways, let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Another 20-minute video. It is what it is. I am Savvy Mike in this. I am Savvy Mike TV. Peace.